So if you're a car owner, I'm sure that you're familiar with the fact that generally when you want to upgrade your vehicle and get certain features, you have to pay significantly more money in addition to the base price of the vehicle. But it seems as if things are changing, because now you're going to be able to subscribe to certain features. For example, if you want the cold weather package, for example, heated seats, the heated steering wheel, well, now's your chance to actually be able to do so. Well, there's a potential that there's going to be a chance for you to be able to do so. And I'll get more into detail about that. But first, if you guys are new here, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're up to speed on the newest videos coming out. And without further ado, let's start up the video. So there's a company by the name of Cox Automotive. Now, if you're not familiar with the name, that's entirely fine, because you probably might be more familiar with the name Kelley Blue Book. Maybe you've heard of the website called Auto Trader. Those are two companies that are essentially under Cox Automotive. So Cox Automotive is the parent company for both of those. So this parent company ran a survey of various amounts of customers, trying to gauge their interest in the potential to have subscriptions. As it turned out, there are quite a few more people that actually were interested than was first assumed. It turned out to be about 41%. I personally would have assumed that most people wouldn't really be that interested in it, and I'll get more into that later on in this video about the varying levels of interest among people. But we've already seen some of these features in vehicles. With Mercedes-Benz, you have the potential for EV subscriptions, for example, an acceleration increase. So you can have that as a subscription, maybe if summer comes around and you generally want to drive faster. And in addition to the subscription feature, they also have it as a one-time fee. Now, BMW tried doing something similar. People didn't take to it quite well, because in their case, they tried to create a subscription for Apple CarPlay. So essentially what they did is every month they created an $80 fee that you would need to pay in order to get and maintain Apple CarPlay. Naturally, for a lot of BMW customers, they weren't really too big a fan of the subscription. So essentially what BMW did was like, okay, you know what? We're going to cut back on that, and we're just going to make Apple CarPlay a feature that is in all vehicles by default. One of the bigger pros is that you get to actually trial a product before you full on buy it for your vehicle. And then you get to use these for varying time periods. So again, as I mentioned earlier with the cold weather package, you can only use that during winter, and then during summer you don't have to subscribe for it. So you get to be able to pick and choose ideally when you want to use certain things. However, on the cons, it creates a little bit too much authority and gives car companies a little bit too much power over your vehicle, because considering the fact that you're going to be subscribing to these features, I'm sure that there's going to be a certain database, if you will, that's going to hold all the information depending on the kind of things you're subscribing to. There's already a potential for people to have a certain level of dislike for the lack of privacy that having these subscriptions will provide. And of course, as always, let's see what the comments say, because generally speaking, being able to see these comments is what gives you the biggest idea as to what people generally think. Subscription service for heated seats? You have to be kidding. I don't mind paying up front for the option of heated seats to have the hardware there, but I'm not going to pay for a subscription to pay for something that's already there. Pretty much reiterates what I've already said. Some people might just not be familiar with it, and it'll take a bit of getting used to as far as that goes. And this comment is a little bit more blunt. It says, I'm definitely not interested in subscribing to features at all. I mean, really, do I need to add anything more? So the people already speaking, and it seems like they're a little bit iffy on the likelihood of them wanting to take to or get used to the concept of having to subscribe to features. And so then the last comment, but not the least, of course this is a two-part comment, and the first part says, I bet there will be hacks galore if this happens. Tuner modules that unlock features or block over-the-air updates will be what people end up paying for. And that actually makes a decent amount of sense, because with any new invention, there are going to be people who are always going to try to hack the system and try to get one up on whatever the system is. We've already seen this, for example, with iPhones, where people's clouds get hacked into and they have all this access to pictures and video and private information We've seen this even with emails, when emails were a new thing, like back in the 90s, early 2000s, when people's emails were getting hacked into. I think that there's a high chance that before things get better when it comes to subscriptions, things could actually significantly get worse. And then the second part of the comment says, I hate this idea. If a dealer pitched me on paying for a subscription to use features that were already built into a car, I would not buy a car from them. I stay away from techie options in general because tech always ages faster than cars do. And I mean, of course, with tech, you always have to keep it updated and as up to date as possible. So it's only assumed that as you're getting a newer vehicle, maybe even if you have the same vehicle over the span of 10 years, you're probably going to have to be paying more in order to just keep up to date with the newest software in order to keep up with your subscriptions. So for me, it seems a little bit like a cash grab. Now, I don't see exactly how it's going to pan out. Maybe when we see it in person, we'll have more insight. But for now, I'm a little bit iffy on it. Similar to these comments, people seem like they're a little bit curious about how things are going to pan out. But either way, we'll see how things pan out. Let me know in the comments below if there's something you're excited about, if there's something you really don't care about, or if you have a positive reaction to it. Either way, that's that for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.